Tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. for Nightcap Knowledge. Put the children to bed, get your adult beverage, and get ready. Nightcap Knowledge is rated Black and Uncensored and hosted by longtime community organizer and entertainment professionals Mr. Mac and DJ George Chuck. Real talk, real issues, real solutions. Nightcap Knowledge on Facebook, IG, and Twitter. Tune in and share.
All right, good people out there. Mr. Mac, can you hear the music? All right. Good people out there, can y'all hear the music? We're back one more again. It is Nightcap Knowledge. Time to put the kids to bed. Get your nightcap. Get that shot of knowledge before bed. We appreciate y'all for checking in. We see the eyes out there. Let us know where you're in. Let us know where you're at. Let us know where you're coming from. Mr. Mac and DJ George Chuck on your Facebook Live, on your Twitch, on your YouTube. Let's get ready for Nightcap Knowledge.
Black with no chaser.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, cats, dogs, chicken, frogs, and snakes, if there be any. This is Nightcap Knowledge. Mr. Mac, what is the business, my brother?
In the words of Ralph Waldo Peter Green, wake up, goddammit.
Wake up, goddammit.
Wake up, goddammit.
Yeah, man, we back for another episode. If I got my numbers correct, this is episode 38 of Nightcap Knowledge. Mr. Mac and DJ George here back for another again. And man, look, I see you got your Jackson Black Business Expo shirt on, man. Look. Hey, I'm still in baseball clothes, bro. I have not had a chance to get out my baseball clothes, but I put my my Prince Hakeem McDowell's hat on, so I'm good. Shout out to old Chef Dave Mallett in the building, man. Cooking with Dave. Yeah, man. Thanks. Shout out to that.
Before he was Chef Dave, he was Mr. It's Nothing, the bartender.
That's right, man. That's right.
It's nothing.
Hey, man, you know how to make that? It's nothing. I got you. Hey, say less. That's what they say now. Say less.
The Grateful Dead King, brother. What was the drink? The fuck me 12 times.
Hey, there it is. Fuck me 12 times. One time for your mind for Mr. Dave, Chef Dave Mallett, man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out on Twitch. I think Dave is usually is it Tuesdays, Dave? Put it in the comments and make sure we dinner with Dave on Twitch, Chef Dave Mallett. And look, man, we have a great time. It's a lot of folks that are expanding and growing their audiences on Twitch, on Facebook, on Instagram, all of that. Very soon, we'll all be, where we aim to be, because we're putting that work in right now. And that's what it's about, man. We're putting that work in. So, Mac, you want to do some rundowns? I know I threw a couple of them up before we got started, just to tease those in. But let's do the mental health minute, man. The mental health minute, and then we'll do some announcements after that.
So we're going to also remind everybody this show is rated Black and Uncensored. I want them to understand this is real talk, real issues, and real solutions. Mental health minute. So I posted something different yesterday, and I talked about responsibility, right? And part of mental health counseling or anything you do, you talk about accepting the responsibility for the part you play in whatever the case may be. Right. No matter what or who has done something to you, what are you going to do about it? So your responsibility comes into how do you react to it, and what are you going to do about it after the fact?
Yeah.
So that's what we talk about, the responsibility. We see a lot of folks talking about, regardless of what it may be, who fault it is, the reason the situation is the way it is. I see this a lot when it comes to our children. Children are one of the most impressionable groups of folks, and depression is higher in them because they have the less capacity to do something about their situation. And they always hear about what they're doing and blaming folks, but who is helping the children? And part of it helping with children is not to get it twisted, is also to show them their responsibility that they play and not giving them a full blame and blaming them to hurt their feelings, not giving them a free pass to the point where they don't know how to be self-sustainable in life, but responsibility for the part that they play and whatever is going on and how to balance themselves. So as a community, as a people, our responsibility is our family, our friends, our community. What are we going to do to help add to it, to make it better, and not just say who should be doing it.
Right.
What are we going to do? So that's what I want to add for my mental health minute for this week.
I mean, look, appreciate that mental health minute, man. We got to make sure that we are setting the example, that we are being the people that we would aim for our children, our loved ones, our young people to aspire to be and to aspire to grow past. So, we're not setting the bar for them to hit. We setting the bar for them to surpass. So look, I love that, man. I love that. Shout out to Shine Queen Bling to you, preschool teacher. It's my life. I guess she's digging that mental health minute that you just offered, Mac. We definitely want to highlight everybody in the audience. We appreciate y'all for checking in with us. And once again, we invite you to check out Chef Dave Mallard on Twitch Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're looking for recipes, Dinner with Dave is your place to do that. Dinner with Dave, that's Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. So he's on right before this. I would encourage everybody to go to Chef Dave's, Twitch, Instagram, get those recipes. He's got some really good stuff. He breaks it down to where you can follow along. You can do the replays and all of that, but you got to make sure that you're there and you turn on the notifications for Chef Dave, and do the same for us too. So we appreciate Dave for checking in. We've known Dave for quite a while. All of us got our start in the nightlife arena, but as you can see now, folks are growing. We're doing what we got to do to continue the connections and make sure that we pass on, our learned knowledge, our learned wisdom to folks, whatever way that we can. So we appreciate Dave for checking in with us. And I also want to say thank you to Mr. Mac for that mental health minute. And this is Queen Bling to you. She says, refreshing. Thanks for that. And she dropped by 100 emojis. And when folks drop them 100 emojis, they really feeling that. They really feeling that, man. So, Mac, outstanding.
Appreciate it, man. Now, the big question, DJ George Chuck.
Whoa.
Big question, brother. What are you drinking?
Well, it's funny that you should ask. And I have my handy dandy cup here. And get my drinking music on and turn it up a little bit.
Well, come on there, brother.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Let me reach over here. Mac has this immaculate bar set up, lights and the glasses and all of that. He has the carafe where he has the ability to, put things on the spigot. But me, I just got like a little bookshelf over there. I'm not going, you can see my little wipes. Y'all see my little Clorox wipes? I'm trying to keep it clean.
Yeah.
Look, I got something new I wanted to try out, and it's got a little spice to it. Hold on, I'll be right back.
What'd
you say? That was it. All right. This is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey called Bradshaw. This by Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw got roots in Louisiana. But this one, bourbon born in Owensboro, Kentucky, and it says that it's a four-time champion. Four-time champion, and it's aged a minimum of 2 years in new charred oak. So it's a real live Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Not a Tennessee whiskey, right? But definitely a nice price point. It wasn't that much, in terms of a bottle, but I saw it, I was like, man, Terry Bradshaw, awesome quarterback, what the Pittsburgh Steelers, really entertaining to watch on, the NFL commentary shows. I don't follow him like that, but he's a pretty funny guy on one of those reality TV show commercials that I saw. And when I saw a 4-time champion, I thought that I said, you know what, Terry Bradshaw, I'll at least, give him a try. And then it's like batch number 2. So you're getting some of the earlier stuff.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Chuck, if I were you, I don't know how I would try to hold on to a little bit of the early batch. If you
I'm going to go back and get another, and I'm just going to, put it up.
Yeah, put it up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think I should dive into today? All right. So you go bourbon. I have Elijah Craig and 1856.
Have you tried that Angel's Envy yet? Have you got that? Mm-hmm. I think we need to try some. I got 3 recommendations from, and I guess I could talk about this right now. There's there's a worldwide whiskey tasters international group that's coming. Mm-hmm. I've been a part of the development of it, and there's a brother, and we could bring him on to interview him and maybe do something like that. I don't know. But the brother's a certified bourbon steward. Mm-hmm. And I know we drink a lot of whiskeys, we do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we could bring him on, man. Like, the dude knows, so much about bourbon and whiskey and all of that. So, man, I think that would be a good interview. And the types of things that he does to educate everybody. So I would say, man, go for the Elijah Craig. You had the Jack in your hand, my man.
Hey, I got on Jack apparel, and a Jack glass. So,
hey, man, look, go for the Jack, because that's what I'm on this weekend. I'm on that Jack Apple this weekend for Mississippi.
Hey. Big shout out to Larry, the legend.
Shout out to
Obama Leggett. The boy got his own money.
When they say he got his own money, he got his own money.
Somebody tell Larry we said that.
I think Larry just texted me. Let me see what old Larry got going on. But look, Mac, now since we got both of our beverages, we've got a great show lined up tonight. But I definitely want to give a shout out to the 6th annual Mississippi Black Business Expo. As we are, talking about Black folks in business, we have the Mississippi Black pages. To reserve your space or update your listing, log on to msblackpages.com. The Black Business Expo will be held in Jackson, Mississippi, August 21st, 2021, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We got the business workshops, we got the food court, we got the family fun zone. And if you need more information about that, you can contact Mississippi Black Pages. That's msblackpages@gmail.com for a sponsorship partner or volunteer opportunities. Also this weekend, as I mentioned, we have the Mississippi Greek Weekend. It's the return of Mississippi Greek Weekend. And you can see we have awesome support from the brands like Cooper's Craft, the Jack Apple, Herradura Tequila, and our celebratory champagne, that Corbel Sweet Rosé. So if you want to find out what's going on for Mississippi Greek Weekend, you can hit msgw.online, or you can just shoot me a text message or inbox, and we'll get you hooked up with all of that information. But just in case you're unable to do that, we have Shoot Your Shot Saturday. That's Saturday, this coming Saturday, 5 p.m. until. We'll be at the Press Box Daiquiri Lounge in downtown Gulfport, Mississippi. And on Sunday, we have our Sunset Social, the Sip and Sing with Tanya Boyd Cannon, and yours truly, along with the legendary DJ Violator, All-Star DJ Nasty Show, will be in the mix with a lot of activities. And I don't have this graphic up, but I want to make sure that everybody knows that we're doing it. We will have our Breaking Bread for the first time on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Breaking Bread for the first time on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We're doing that Saturday morning in Jones Park. And I don't even know if I know Quincy said he was
about Breaking Bread, Chuck.
So yeah. So Breaking Bread is something that we've been doing with Mississippi Move for quite a while now. breaking bread is one of those things where we see the benefit of sharing a meal amongst our people. Now, we began sharing that meal with our homeless brothers and sisters in Pittman Park, which used to be known as Poindexter Park.
Right.
So that's the way it started out. And man, I don't know. I can't keep count on how many breaking breads that we've done. But in terms of years, I think we're probably about 4-5 years strong on breaking breads, maybe 6.
Well, breaking bread started
down
14. It started in 14. Same time we started Sleep Out.
Yeah.
Same year we started Sleep Out.
Yeah. So the breaking bread, man, absolutely outstanding event. It gets a lot of support. Sometimes people come for the wrong reasons, but they have their eyes open while they're there. You build relationships with folks and understand that, sometimes homelessness is not what it seems. And the only way that you understand how a person is handling their situation is to break bread and talk with them. And a couple times this week, I've been talking with a brother named Quincy. Quincy, he spreads the word, the gospel in front of a coffee shop in downtown Gulfport. And Quincy rides his bike up and down 49 picking up trash. So Quincy understands that he's blessed to wake up and see the sun every day. And that's the message that he spreads every morning right there by Coast Roast in downtown Gulfport, man. So Quincy is one of I guess you could say he's one of our outreach consultants. And Quincy been spreading the word, man. And we're going to be in Jones Park Saturday morning.
And that's what we talked, like we just did breaking bread this past Saturday here in Jackson. It's just, and it was for people that, whether they were homeless or not, folks that just needed a meal.
Right.
Some folks, man, they work every day, they have a job, they pay the bills, and they don't have enough food to eat. They're making real decisions. We would definitely talk about our senior population who make real decisions between paying a bill and buying medicine, right? Yeah. So a hot meal, a food box. A big shout out to Sankofa Kitchen, Sister Saida and her new vegan menu has been added to Sankofa Kitchen, and Dr. Cindy Ayers from Footprint Farms, who was able to give out some hot meals and some real good vegetable boxes to help folks. And you got, folks just came there to fellowship, because one thing we talked about is creating a safe space.
Right.
Where they feel welcome just to sit and listen to some music and talk, and, because a lot of people, things that people are dealing with stuff, this is a rough time right now. So we definitely want to just creating that safe spaces. We started doing stuff like this with a barbecue grill years ago without a name, just fired up and folks just come and gravitate to it. So those are the things that we need to continue to do, is provide that small little bit of fellowship and socialization and a nice little meal, man. Makes a world difference. Chuck, I sent you
safely.
I sent you 2 other graphics to your email places where Mississippi Move will be doing Get Out the Vote at this weekend.
I see it right now. Download.
You can save it for your announcements at the end.
Okay, I'll do that, man. I got them coming down. And look, and let's get ready to we've got some awesome guests backstage right now. And we appreciate them for their patience. We appreciate y'all for the views that you're giving us, the comments that you're giving us. We see all of our folks over on Twitch and YouTube, and as well right here on the Black with No Chaser Network on Facebook Live. Now, Mr. Mack, you want to give these brothers some intro?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So today, they got a great program going on. One of these brothers is no stranger. Coach Obasi has been out in the streets, organizing, working with children through basketball, through direct contact force, helping them in counseling. So his brother is very dedicated. He reached out to his other brother, Brian Edwards, and they're working on a great project for this weekend, highlighting 2 very important issues and 2 very important times in Black history. We're talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, and also talking about George Floyd. So we want to bring them on so they can talk about the great work that they are doing and what they're doing this weekend. He just happened to have a trophy in the background. Did you see how? Hey, he just happened to have the camera angle with the trophies in the background. I got you.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Well, welcome to the show, guys. We appreciate y'all for being here with us.
Well, I'm excited for being here. Good to see you, Chuck. It's been a minute since we
a long time,
talked, man. It's been a time. Yeah, Mac. I just when I see Mac, I see myself as a reflection of myself.
Lord. Oh Lord.
And when I see myself as a reflection of myself, I have to say, I got to stop it. Because sometimes when I see myself, I see the good, bad, and ugly. But Mac, I only see the good.
Chuck,
how that go, Mac?
Chuck, don't step in that.
Oh, look.
Well, we're excited though. I wanted to highlight before we get started in our conversation, our discussion, because Mac, I see you always. I have some real important things to drink that make you feel good, right? Yeah. So I wanted to highlight what I got. Now, what I got? Can you see it? Can you see it real quick?
Bring it a little closer.
Can you see it now?
Apricot. That's
okay.
Lemonade.
Yeah. That's that new herbal blessings. That's that new herbal blessings.
EJ. Yeah.
EJ.
Oh man.
This is the new one. This is the new one. Now, this is the unrated version.
So
we have a rated version too.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yes.
I guess
we're gonna I'll tell you about that later, man.
All right, there you go. All right. Because I'm waiting for it. I'm like, get me with it.
I'm gonna tell you about that later. So let me get this on.
Yeah. All right, don't fall out that chair.
Well, I'm excited because now, Brian, here's the deal. Since we put this together with the Tulsa George Floyd Day of Remembrance, the whole idea came from our elders. Okay. I was having a conversation with them about what is it that going on for us, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921, and how this is the 100th year of that massacre that happened. And so we can either celebrate it or we can just forget it.
Yeah. And
so it was ironic because you think about this here, George Floyd, when he was murdered, it happened in where? Minnesota. And Tulsa, Oklahoma ain't too far from there. That whole idea of what's going on for us, Black Lives Matter, we always say that, and what's going on with the murder, the police brutality, all those are these things, right? But the question is, are we going to remember it to where we're going to make some effective change? Or are we going to just remember it like we heard a sermon? Oh, I felt good. Oh, praise the Lord, how to do it. Oh, wow. And that's it. Then you just get up and dust yourself off and keep going. What are we going to do to really change and make a change? So I said, I deal with young people all the time. I know the voice. I know how to talk. I know how to engage with them.
Yeah.
Let's do a competition. Now, they didn't like the word competition. With capitalism. No, we ain't competing. So I was like, well, how can I sell this to them? So I had to go back to my Mac Epps book.
Okay? Whoa.
I want my Max Epps book. And guess what book I put up, Chuck?
What you pull up, man? Okay. I hear you. Education
of a Negro, Carter G. Woodson.
Okay.
So I had to go back, and in this book, now I know both of y'all read this book before, right, Mac?
Yeah.
You know I'm seeing it, right, Mac?
I'm not agreeing to nothing you say because I don't know where you're going with
this. I got you. But you know what? Here's the deal. Chuck. Here's the deal. You don't have to agree with me, but he have to agree with your statement. It says, a mind that remains in the past and the present atmosphere never undergoes sufficient development to experience what is commonly known as thinking. When you control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his actions.
Yeah. Correct.
You don't have to tell him not to stand here or go yonder. Yeah. He will find the proper place and will stay in it. You do not need to send him to the back door.
You go automatically.
He will go without being told. And in fact, there's no back door. He will cut one for himself for a special benefit. His education makes it necessary. Miseducation of a Negro. Most people are miseducated when it comes to what happened in Black Wall Street and what happened with George Floyd. And tonight, what we're going to talk about is the miseducation of Tulsa George Floyd Day of Remembrance. Now,
man, I love how you put that together. That was pretty good.
Now, hold up, brother Brian.
Yes.
We can't see you, brother.
Oh man, I was driving. I didn't want.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this thing. Hey,
I
look,
apologize.
all good. We still can't see.
Leaving, I coach youth baseball, so I was leaving baseball practice.
Yep.
Y'all give me like a few minutes.
Chuck just left baseball practice too.
Nah, we had a game at 19-6, buddy. We put that thing on them.
Y'all put that thing on Chuck.
Hey, 6U All-Star, baby. Look, we got a little 4-year-old out there.
We coach under 12, so
okay.
Yeah, pretty good practice.
Good deal, man. Good deal. All right, shout out to all the youth sports coaches out there, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I did youth sports for over 20 years. Started doing youth sports when I was 19 years old at St. Joseph Gym in Albany, New York. I started right after I was in college, and I just started to coach basketball. Hey, this is my motto. Hey, those who can't play, coach.
Yeah.
Hey, I never played baseball.
So I was playing. I was a good football player. So they allowed me to be on the championship basketball team, 1990 Albany High.
Right.
Now I was on the team. I just played football. I just played defense. That's it. I couldn't shoot it in the ocean. Guess what, though, Chuck?
Got it.
I got that hardware.
This all defense right there. Up and out.
He couldn't shoot it in the ocean.
I couldn't shoot it in the ocean. But I tell you what, though, even at present day, if a person wants to shoot me in a free throw shooting contest because you stand still, I could put money on that.
Yeah, you knock him down. I hear you.
Okay, you want to challenge me, Matt?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I don't know, Coach. I think I'll take you up on that challenge.
Okay, guess what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now he did youth coaching for 20 years. He's probably been hustling probably about 40. And I think you just took the bait.
And there it is.
He done sat you up.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
Sometimes you have to be confident. Sometimes you have to be confident in yourself.
Yeah.
More than others.
Custer was competent too.
I wanted to know if we can talk about some facts, okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
Introduce your brother. Give him a proper introduction of who you are. Introduce your brother, then jump into some of the facts about what's going on.
Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, so brother here, he's gonna actually mirror the introduction. But I'm gonna start out. His name is Brian Edwards. He is a young man who's excited about doing things in the future in the community. He has his own business, and he has his own job, and he's a coach. That's how we got together, right?
Okay.
I met this brother because him and his wife are dedicated to the salvation and uplifting of Black folks.
Outstanding.
And they're serious about it. And so they wanted to be with an organization that wasn't just playing around, but an organism that was growing. So I introduced him to Respect Our Black Dollars. And he's like, brother, I already talked to Brother Stanley West about a year ago, but I never was able to really connect with him.
Right.
So I told him, I said, it's all about timing. So Brian is dedicated. He reminds me of myself too, another reflection. I just feel like when God put people in my path, He put people in my path that has similar characteristics and drive and energy that I have. So Brian Edwards is a new member of Respect Our Black Dollars. We will have him working, doing a lot of different things now. And Brian will be also working alongside with Mississippi Move on the different project that we do as well, because with Mississippi Move means move. So Respect Our Black Dollars can't stand still either. So we move collectively to be able to do what we need to do. So Brian Edwards, go ahead and reintroduce yourself as you would like.
Oh man, I was pretty good. I don't think you missed anything. I'm a native of Detroit, Michigan. I moved down here when I was in high school. I graduated from Lanier, went on to Jackson State, where I earned a double bachelor's in history and political science. Went on to Mississippi College to earn a master's in political science. I started a business called Essential Technology Education, where I focus on bringing IT services to underserved communities, in particular African American communities, such as marketing, business plans, web design, social media marketing, a lot of different IT skills that we kind of lack or we don't take serious within our community. Um, like like Coach Obasi said, my passion have always been, to not only move people forward, but especially my people. I tell people I'm a man, and then after I'm a man, I'm black. So it's my job to move our culture forward, just as the next man. Because like we talking about tonight, I've seen the George Floyd murders. I was a part. I was born during the Rodney King issues, and we've had all these issues that have afflicted our communities, our culture, our people. And if we don't start to show some type of remembrance of these issues and address these issues, they will continue to happen. History repeats itself unless you do something to change the course of it.
Was it trying to remember African proverb? I know one was saying if you don't know your history, if you don't know where you're going, in the road will take you there. One African proverb. So
Right.
you got to know your history and know where you need to be going, because if you don't, you're gonna be lost and you're gonna end up anywhere. And it's definitely not gonna be beneficial to you or your people. So that's really good. Now, what you guys got coming up?
Well,
Give us some facts.
It's a big event, and before we talk about the big event, I want to add to what you said, Mac. You are absolutely right, man, about your history. And I always say, as a therapist, and I say to all of my clients that the first thing I talk to them, I ask them, I say, "What do you want me to do? You want me to lie to you, make you feel good, tell you the truth? What you want?" I'm gonna say a little slower. Do you want me to lie to you to make you feel good, or tell you the truth? Most of them say, "Oh, coach, tell me the truth." "Oh, sir, tell me the truth." And I always say, the truth is unbelievable, but if you want it, I'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important for us to understand, especially Black folks. When I look at you, I see a reflection of something that I hate. I hate myself internally.
Correct.
Right? So I say, if you don't know yourself, you hate yourself. Everything that looks like you, act like you, you're hated as well.
Correct.
So it's very important for us to have knowledge of self, because if we don't have knowledge of self, then we are lost. So this event we have, Tulsa George Floyd Day of Remembrance, is 1921 to 2021. We're going to have what we call a youth talent expression showcase. So this is going to be some youth that we've been working with. We've actually been working with them on Zoom and teaching them about Tulsa, Oklahoma, teaching them about the other different Tulsa or Black Wall Streets that we have in the whole United States of America. So they're learning about this. Also, I've challenged them. We're doing like writing essays and helping them to dissect what the essay says and how to relate the information to their peers. So we've been doing it for the last month. And we're going to showcase some of these youth in this particular talent and expressions competition. They will win money. That's how you lure them. $100 for the first place, $100 for first place, $50 for second place. And then we're going to have several awards from our sponsors. Also, this event is going to be May the 29th, 2021 at Battlefield Park, which is located at 935 West Porter Street, Jackson, Mississippi, 39204. It's very important that we honor those who made our ancestors who died too soon. And on this list, we have several ancestors that died too soon. And if you look at this, you see George Floyd, but also we got to realize that we got to remember the ones in the past too. The 4 little girls of Birmingham, right? So Denise McAir, Cynthia Wesley, Addie McCollins, and Carol Robinson. If you don't know your history, you repeat your history.
Right.
So lots of people don't even know that those were people that was killed as well, assassinated. So we're going to really talk about that and break it down, Max. So thank y'all for allowing us to really break this thing down so people can understand the concrete reason for why we're going to do this event.
And this is the anniversary of George Floyd assassination.
Yes, it is. It's the first. It's a 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, 1 year
of
anniversary.
his, and it's the 100-year anniversary of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And check this out, Chuck and Mac. Most people don't know. They just focus on Tulsa, Oklahoma as the Black Wall Street. Only reason they really focus on that because it was bombed.
Yeah,
But there were several other Black Wall Streets that were bombed or taken advantage of, or just got to the point where nobody knows exactly what happened to them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you
look at High Tide District in North Carolina, right? It was successful blacks living there. They migrated from the city. They was working in what we call tobacco factories in the local areas in that what we call that Fayetteville area. Mm-hmm. So the land and neighborhoods they emerged where the white merchants eventually purchased a lot of capital from the black residents, and they just pushed them on out. So that was a prime from 1880 to 1940. That district was one of the most successful black communities in the country. And so lots of people don't know that. The city was the home of the historical North Carolina Mutual Insurance Company. Lincoln Hospital was also there, and there was over 200 black-owned businesses in that district. That was a district we talk about 1911 where Booker T. Washington himself was there. Actually, Booker T. Washington stated that he found a city of Negro enterprises whose citizens were shining examples of what the colored man had became. So I want to make sure I highlight that, Mac, so people can understand that there were other places besides Tulsa, Oklahoma.
We need to come back and redo that. Go ahead, brother.
I wanted to add one to that list before we change. You know, Central Park in New York, that was another area where it was a successful area. They moved the minorities out, primarily black, to make way for where Central Park now in New York. So just like you mentioned, there were Black Wall Streets all across the United States. It wasn't just one, but the systematic removal or the destruction of these areas led to not only the dismay of the community, but those residents within it. So now the residents had to scatter and things like that. So it's important to always remember, Black people have always been successful, but we have always been met with opposition as well.
Yeah.
But also, can I add to that, brother? You got to look at because I'm from New York. I'm from Albany, New York. And when I was in New York, I learned about Harlem. You know, everybody know about Harlem back in the roaring 20s, right? But lots of people don't understand how Harlem was a point where it kind of got depleted in its value. And it happened basically because of the Great Depression. You see, once they had the Great Depression, it devastated the impact of black communities. And it was the political parts that was dedicated to social and the economic influence. It continued to shape it because Harlem was a artist area, right? So that's why when you talk about the Harlem Renaissance, you had all of people that came from the Great Depression come to Harlem and try to uplift that area. People like Langston Hughes, W.E.B. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, Josephine Baker, and there was a lot of other people who inspired the move with Harlem. So what we're looking at right now, we want to restore different districts throughout the United States so that we can get that success that we had before. But it's psychologically, we have to understand how to migrate to the area and how we can spend our dollars together so that we can be able to build a Black Wall Street infrastructure again. That's very important. So that was Harlem as well, Chuck.
Chuck, can't hear you, brother.
Sorry, guys. I put myself on mute because I had some background noise.
Gotcha.
But you making some outstanding points. One of the questions that came up in my mind, and you know, Mac is wearing his Jackson Black Business Expo T-shirt. I was thinking about I don't know of, or I haven't seen, and I know I pay attention for this type of stuff. I haven't seen a comprehensive list. Like you talk about us making sure that we know where things come from. that we have access to information, and we put it, we position the information to where it's consumable for our folks, so that they can begin to thirst and crave that particular type of information. Right. So I was thinking, like, man, is there a list? Has somebody compiled a list? And if that's not a thing, then I would like to say that, you know, from the Mississippi Black pages, that we could, you know, in conjunction with everybody here, let's come up with that list, and then we could do I'll do the graphics, and then that way we start sharing that stuff, you know, because social media it's a lot of information and it's a lot of misinformation, but the more information that we put out there and people become to understand who the credible sources are, then, you know, we can fight the misinformation. So, which is what we're doing right now. Because, I mean, we got a dedicated 10 people that are listening to us, that, you know, may have, you know, for the first time found out about some of the information that we're sharing here. So I want to say, at the very least, out of a deliverable out of this conversation is that we get a list of those Black Wall Streets, because everybody, you know, Joe Biden them exploited Tulsa. Donald Trump tried to exploit Tulsa and, you know, Greenwood during, you know, this previous election season. But there are others that we need to highlight, and then you all know of these, and then we need to put that information out there so we can push it forward. So that's what I want us to do from this.
Well, what we've done, though, is let you know that Respect Our Black Dollars, we're not just about protesting, right?
Right.
We're about education as well. Sometimes our folks don't want to be educated, but at the same time, if I'm going to be involved with any organization, we got to be educated first and foremost before you go out, because I ain't going to have cop. It's just not going to happen.
You got to know.
Through our orientation, we make our members focus on understanding the Black Wall Streets. Like, for instance, you had U Street in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Okay. U Street in Washington, D.C. It was known as a historical Black Broadway. And it was also the epicenter for Black excellence in the talent of all those in the 19th century. So I'm just going to give a little small part. You know, you had Zora Neale Hurston, you had Billie Holiday, Langston, all those people that was in U Street in Washington. Now, quickly, we also had 10th Street. That's historical district in Dallas, Texas. So they call it the Oak Cliff. Right? There was more than 500 Black residents live in that area in the 1900s. That's just one of them. Also, you got 4th Avenue District in Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah. That was in the 16th Street Baptist Church. You had over there. There was a Southern District in a lot of affluent Black businesses district in the early mid 20th century. They became a plethora of businesses, theaters, restaurants, hotel, cafes, and a lot of different things. In that also, it was the 4th Avenue District that many of the Blacks came to celebrate their culture. And also, you never can forget the colored Masonic Temple, also known as Masonic Temple building that was on 16th Street in that area as well. And the last one I'm going to talk about is the nickname Harlem of the South. That was in Richmond, Virginia. Okay. You had thousands of Black Americans move to that area because of during the Civil War, right? In the prosperous area, they had well-known churches. There was some of the first Black women who owned banks in the country. You had a bank called the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank. It was founded by Madam L. Walker, you know. So a lot of that we don't really talk about, and you're right, Chuck. We're gonna have to put this together because if you don't know your history, like I said, you repeat your history.
Now Richmond, we forgot one. We forgot one very, very important.
Okay,
which is our Fair Street. Our
Fair Street District, Jackson,
right here in Jackson, and that's
right.
And that's something I want to bring to our attention for Mississippian. Mississippi always put Mississippi last,
right?
And when I say therefore, we still have living active members of SNCC and civil rights movement. But when we are in school here in Mississippi, we learn about other civil rights leaders before we learn about what folks in Mississippi contribute to what we have, right? So, we have a lot of rich history, right? And as people try to pretend like stuff just happening, we've always had an issue when governors using law enforcement and state troopers as their personal army, with Gibbs and Green at Jackson State. So we have so much that one thing I want us to start pushing, like you said, is educating about all of those different Black Wall Streets around the country, but also what we had here in Mississippi, because Mississippi need to know that there's some folks before them that made a difference, and they need that to inspire them that, hey, given your circumstances, you too can make it. That's true. What I'm saying? And that's what we need to hear. We need to see that some folks that's from here that grew up down that street on that corner, made it, and you can make it.
Well, that was really good, Mac, and you're right. In the Mississippi Special Affairs District, it's very important that people remember that. And I wanted to be able to highlight some facts about Black Wall Street so we can make sure that we educate and re-educate and re-educate and re-educate our community. First of all, like I said earlier, the Black dollar, it was circulated 36 out of 100 times in the tight-knit community of the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, that's just a model. Now, that also, the Black dollar circulated in all these other districts throughout the country. A single dollar might have stayed in the Black community for a year. Now, comparatively, we got to look at the Asian community. Their dollar stays in the community right now for a month. The Jewish communities for 20 days, the white community for 7 days. But in the modern day Black community, it only stays in the community for 6 hours. I didn't say 5, I didn't say 4, I said 6 hours. That's according to the NAAC report. Now, when you talk about the Black Wall Street that was in Greenwood, Archer, and Pine Streets, in a time they had so much. Over 100 years, the average Black family their average income was about $20,000 a year. Dr. Simon Berry, who owned a bus system in Tulsa, recalls that in 1910, his average income was about $500 a day. Now, check this out. Now, Chuck, hold on to your seat. Don't fall out.
I ain't falling out.
There were jealous white mobs that came in to destroy Black-owned restaurants, 21 of them. Grocery stores, 30 of them, and 2 movie theaters and a hospital. Now, we already know about Jackson Cash and Carry, how we wanted to make sure that grocery store stayed alive, but it didn't, because it didn't get supported by our city, because the consciousness of our people wasn't even there. We'd rather go out to another store, get the same products, and not support our own. So I want to keep that in mind as well. Most people don't even understand the aspect of what happened in Tulsa. There was a massacre. And that massacre, it was promulgated because of power, because of greed. This massacre took place May the 31st and June the 1st of 1921, when the mobs of the white residents, and many of them was deputized. They was given weapons by the city officials to attack the Black residents in that Greenwood district, right? And they call this the most single worst incident of racial violence in American history. So this attack, it carried out, and they took a private aircraft. It destroyed 35 square blocks in the district. And at that time, more than 800 people were admitted to the hospital, and more than 6,000 Black residents were jailed in large cities, and many of them several days, and an estimate of 300 people were dead. So these initial years after the riot, surviving residents, they began to try to build again, right? To try to make this more of a vibrant city, right? So what happened in 1950s and the 60s, it began to entice Black people to live everywhere, other places, right? So the Black Wall Street never again was able to recover. And that's what we're talking about right now. What can we do as young men to make sure we impact the next generation so we can recover that? So We could do two things, Mac and Chuck and Brian. We could talk about it or we could do something about it. So I think that we doing things individually, but we have to come together collectively. And that's why we decided with the LOC, which stands for Local Organizing Committee of Jackson, Mac Evans, Brother Kareem. Brother Kareem, he's an elder. He pulled me. He said he pulled me into this movement. He said that, Coach, in order for us to be effective, you got to keep your identity, but in your autonomy. But at the same time, we got to pull our resources together.
Yeah.
And Mac, I'm gonna ask you a question, and you, Chuck. What do you think about organizing and all of these organizations having the zeal to do things for Black folks, but they can't be on the same page, even though we're supposed to be in the same book?
Well, what I think about it,
and
he's doing it again, Chuck. I just want to put it at that. Right. So basically, so let me say what I was about to say in regards to this. It's a lot of niggism, right? So we have a lot of self-hate that manifests into sabotage, not willing to work, not willing to grow, not seeing my brother as me, not seeing the collective model, right? We used to try to make moves and did things for us. Now we look at and it's not a big deal. In 2021, we're still talking about the first Black, the first Black. We're still making first Black in 2021. We still got some stuff that we have not done yet. And it just talk about one of the most evil, impotent, insecure, lack of testicle fortitude creatures that ever walked the face of the earth, and how they have been destroying Black legacy and African heritage ever since it touched down, because they cannot stand it. They have such a self-hate for themselves that when they look at us, it just make their blood boil, that not all the things that have been happening to our people, that we can still find some success. And that's why you have a large group of them. And in 2016, they had a leader that made them feel a lot better about themselves, better than they felt in years. And you see this now more systematically. We're cutting your legs from under you and keeping you from being able to grow. So I always ask, why we keep talking about Black Wall Street? It's 2021. It's 2020. It's 2020. It's 2019.
Right. Why haven't we
been able to learn from what happened and duplicate it in a larger process? The same question I asked, why, out of all these years, why NBA players didn't retire and pull their money together and buy a team? Why NFL players didn't retire and pull their money together and buy a team? So it's a lot of questions to ask, why the mentality and the way we are thinking.
Right.
Because we don't control our curriculums. We don't control our media outlets. We don't control our networks. We don't control the biggest tools that teach us how to think and how to live and what true success looks like for the Negro. And because we don't control that process of thinking, we don't think as collective, we think as individuals, because now we have arrived. In the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of one of the worst race riots we've had in years, you had Negroes still complaining because they couldn't go get something to drink. We weren't thinking about pulling our money and saving our money and working together. If the pandemic didn't show you how much you needed to have your own shit and how much them folks didn't care about your ass,
right?
Nothing will. And this is an awakening. You know what I'm saying? We celebrating 100 years. 1 year anniversary, 100 year anniversary. What are we going to do with it? And I know we're ready to work. And the thing about it is, we got some Negroes that's going to be in our way to stop us, because it's going to be a threat to their livelihood, because they sit at massive feet. They sit at massive feet. So for me, I would say what a lot of folks ain't going to say. Really don't give a shit. It's the truth. One of our biggest problems is we don't like to talk about stuff that's not politically correct. Because it hurts folks' feelings. Fuck them and their feelings. That's why we have this podcast, because we can't never heal when we start talking about counseling, because we can't never talk about the truth of the matter and why we are the way we are. And because we don't know who we are and whose we are, and the importance of why I should spend my dollar with Chuck versus spending my dollar over there. But it's cheaper. And then you look at us, and then what do we say all the time? Somebody need to do something. When they do it, you don't support them. You know what I'm saying? How many black businesses, you know what I'm saying? We got black businesses here. Why don't we don't pull together as we need to, because we don't see the benefit of a collective organizing, because we have been indoctrinated to look when white say you're doing well, then that we somebody. What Bernie Mac say? When they come to see you, you somebody. And we believe that. We believe that. We really, really believe that. We have great artists here in the city of Jackson, the state of Mississippi. We don't support them. They go out of state, go somewhere else. Oh man, they all over.
You're absolutely right about that.
And that's like when I said that because you talk about the different, like the ballet and the different things that they had that we supported, but we don't support our folks like that no more. And I'm scared that Coach Obasi is going to succeed before me, so I'm not going to support him.
Right.
And that's some real shit that we deal with on a regular basis, and we can't never ever find out who we are because we're too busy being who somebody told us we should be.
Oh man, that's a great point. I want to follow up with what you just said because those words was powerful. Do anyone follow Killer Mike?
Yeah,
the rapper Killer Mike. One of his favorite slogans is to kill your masters. He's not literally saying go kill them, but he's saying
we don't have no masters. So I understand what you mean.
Right. He often states that we are just choosing which one of the masters we want to serve.
Right.
Instead of killing both of them and making our own self the masters.
Yeah. And
that goes to what you said. We're the division within Black culture is real. It's not something that's imaginary. It's not something that's just we just talk about. It's real. People will decide to go against you just because you're Black, not for no other reason, but because you're Black. Now it's many. It's a lot of reasons why that division has occurred and why we have allowed it to occur. However, like you just mentioned, it has to start with us. Yeah. It has to start with us controlling our media. It has to start with us controlling our dollar. And I often tell, I cover investing for a lot of people, so I educate people on how to invest. One of my favorite phrases is that if you do not control your dollar, you don't control your future. So it doesn't matter how much you think you can be or what you can be or how much money you make. If you don't control it, then it doesn't matter.
I'll go a step further with you, Brian. If you don't control or own your labor, you cannot control your future. Because
I agree with that as well.
Here's the thing.
I like that.
We got a lot of folks that they feel like, and I'll give credit to my frat brother Josh Dedman, for keeping me and challenging me on different views and things like that. But I understood it before I even knew that I understood it, because Mac and I talk about this, from time to time. I saw my father owning his labor. My father got up every day and, whether it was he was going out to the yard to pour concrete, burial vaults, or to go build a house somewhere, George Patterson Sr. owned his labor. And then he would invest his talent and his treasures in a church that invested in the community. And it wasn't one of those things where you had a preacher that's trying to pimp the community. You had a preacher that was legitimately trying to tell folks, look, if we don't help ourselves,
that's right.
If you don't invest in yourself, not saying you got to give everything you got to the church. We can't operate this church and you don't have anywhere to send your kids for vacation, Bible school, after school class, Sunday morning, Tuesday night. You don't have a place to your kids to come to after school because you got to work. If you got to work, you need to invest in the community center that's around the corner. And that way the community center can work with the church, and then the church can work with its resources that they getting from the city to do all of this. But if you don't own your labor,
you own your labor. I like that point.
You don't own your labor, you don't control your future. And then if you own your labor and you control your future, then you can generate your money. And I've been able to see that. Mac and I definitely we didn't have these conversations. And we've grown from these conversations about what we've been able to do inside of a pandemic. And yeah, we struggle every day because it's one of those things where you got to get up with your bow, you got to get up with your rifle, and you got to go kill what you eat. But if more people start to look at themselves as at least owning their labor, and if you want to work and you might not have the business acumen to lead a business, but you can at least, you know, be a part of a cooperative and say, you know what, I'm gonna invest my time, my energy, my talent, my resources, that I know that it's going to go into ownership for me. So I'll add that on top of all of the layers of things that we've discussed here tonight. And I appreciate y'all for being here.
Chuck, I want to talk about when you say ownership. First of all, it's a mindset. First of all, you got to recruit yourself every day. When you get up in the morning, you got to recruit yourself over and over again.
You do.
And mine is every day. And I do that every day. You know, and you talk about affirmations.
Yeah.
Every day I get up and recruit myself. And I say to myself, I like myself. I tell myself that I'm the greatest. I'm going to go out there and make this money. But I'm specific. I got to make $2,000 a day. My wife was like, babe, why do you do that? We wound up making $4,000. It's like, wow. How did that happen? Because it's law of attraction. And I'm always out there talking in the community saying we got to be what we say. So when it comes to what we're doing, and when it comes to what we're doing with this movement here, we got to keep that in place, because we don't keep that in place. Guess what we're doing? We're wasting time. And I don't got time to waste.
We hustling backwards.
Now, you see this here is Mike up there. Mike. Is Mike?
Yeah, that's a TEDx. I see you at the top there. Bring it a little bit. There you go.
This Mike is see that thing, Mac? Special guest.
Yeah,
that was me. Okay,
really?
Yes, sir.
You didn't steal that?
I went to the TEDx event in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Saturday, and it was awesome. I've never been to a TEDx event. I've saw several ones. You know, see that shirt? That's on everything. See that?
We'll see you.
I'm trying to show out now.
Okay.
All right. So when I went to the TEDx event, I was invited to come, right? To represent Respect Our Black Dollars.
Okay.
Get to the TEDx events. I meet this brother, Lou Ali. The brother been courting me ever since Kwanzaa. He been like, Coach, you got to come to Louisiana. You got to come and see what we're doing. We're creating the Black Wall Street. We're doing this. I'm like, okay, I hear you. You know, I hear you. But I really wasn't convinced until I actually went. Now, for them Christian folks, in the Bible, it say taste and see, right? Now, in the world, it say taste and sip. So I tasted it. I sipped it.
Yeah.
And I went and saw myself. I was blown away.
Yeah.
I saw that it's in this neighborhood, they call it Scotlandville. They have their own community. They're building. They have actually bought up about 3 or 4 not acres, but 3 or 4 corners. And they're building. And I'm invited back to come see it. Now, the brother says something real clearly. He says, in order to resurrect Black Wall Street, we have to find a strategic way in which we can get other people to see it. So they have created what they call Resurrecting Black Wall Street Tour. The brothers are meeting right now in Stonecast, Georgia. They're meeting to get ready to buy some property there, but also to be able to set up a circuit. Now, that's why we're going to get together. Anybody who listens and who want to really make this work, we got to find out the Black Wall Street districts in our cities, major cities. When football season comes, we got to be able to make it easy for people to go to other areas and actually play, spend money together, right? With Respect Our Black Dollars, we have 3 primary objectives. Okay, I'm main one. Name one because I won't be long. Buy in groups of 7 or more collectively. That's one. So what we did when my brother David was here, we would get together. We would get all of our friends together, about 20 of us, and we'll go to different businesses and we'll shop the same day. We call them buy-ins, right?
Right.
But what happened is that David was so adamant about making sure we do it, he started convincing the pastors to get a bus or get a van and get all the members together, and we on Sundays, and we go to a black-owned restaurant and just pack it out. So we did it for 3 weeks straight. Guess what happened?
What happened?
A lot of the other business owners of the city got upset and started complaining about it.
Why you ain't coming here?
I don't know. We that was back in the day. That was before pandemic, right? But
Why you ain't coming?
What we got to do though, and I'm telling Brother Brian this as well, we got to start doing it again because we had so much momentum.
Yeah.
But Mac was saying something that really touched my heart. The momentum stopped because of niggerism. The momentum stopped because other groups saw us being successful and they didn't want to join in. Even the members that was part of the group, because of knowledge of self, decided they didn't want to do it. And so I said, I'm going to take a back seat. I've been dealing with our elders, but I'm really ready for something progressively to happen because I don't want to be 60 years old and being around broke people. I don't like being around broke people because broke people steal. Yeah. And hungry people steal too. I don't like, that's why I'm around Mac a lot because Mac got money. I was like, yeah.
Money Mac.
hey, you knew it was coming. Have I told you earlier? Don't step in it.
So that's what we say as far as resurrecting Black Street. Remember that the summertime is a time for us to think about this summer. We need to think about where areas we can go and have a freedom summer, like in 1960s.
Well, actually,
they're doing that right there in Storage Mountain, Georgia.
Well, actually, so since it's almost June, so Mississippi Move is putting on Freedom Summer 2021, and it's going to be a host of events that's going to help rebuild our community for the reading feed. We're going to have the self-respect, self-confidence, and we're going to have those different building workshops. We're going to have community organizing training. That actually is going to be led by Brother Hollis. So we are working on those rebuilding steps. So that's actually what we are doing for the summer and for June and July. And we really want to do, since it's the 100-year anniversary of Black Wall Street, we got Black August. We want to make sure that we highlight and we show up. And Trina asks, there's a very significant thing about number 7. So when you start talking about showing up in 7, it's a divinity for the number 7. So that's why they chose that number. If you're going to choose 8, that's infinity. So you could choose 8 too, But I want us as a collective to show up and show out in August. Start identifying businesses in August. And we end with the Black Business Expo, right? But we want to make sure that we go hard and support Black businesses, right? We will make a practice when we had Jackson Cash and Carry to at least go there and shop once a month.
Yep.
Right.
Hey,
not saying that we're the only place,
right?
But we made sure intentionally that we went to Jackson Cash and Carry once a month, right?
When we was in Jackson, the Q's, we would go and buy there all the chicken that we could.
And whatever you got to do. And then also,
set the whole yard up.
What we did when the pandemic hit, pandemic hit, we used Black businesses to feed the community when they first got hit, right? Yeah. Like Village Kitchen over there with Antron. We reached out to other businesses, to get them Eddie. I don't know where is Eddie in here. We was able to feed the community with Black business because Black business was hurting. But we also turned around right during the ice storm in February. When people didn't have no water, no food, and we found Black-owned restaurants and spent money with them to give away food to the community. So you gotta put the money. But one thing he left out about that 7, supporting in 7 or more, without asking for a discount, and quality Black-owned businesses. Now I'll be the bad guy. That means
bad guy, man. What you got, man?
You talk about this Black business etiquette, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right? Is your business product as good as the white man or better? Is your customer service as good as the white man or better?
Yeah.
Is your communication skills as good as his or better? Because we still have to get up and work 3 times as hard to get half of what they got. So you damn sure can't come half-ass thinking that you're gonna get it, and just because you say you Black. That thing cut 2 ways. as a consumer, don't go in there poor mouth act like you ain't got no money, begging for shit. Go spend your money like you would spend it anywhere else. As a business owner, you make sure you have a quality, clean establishment with a good product for your consumers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way. That's black business etiquette.
No
negotiation. Both ways.
No negotiation.
No negotiation. Right? It goes both ways. Support without asking for a discount, giving quality service and product.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Right? And I'm gonna say this for everybody that don't want to say it. Jackson has one of the worst customer service groups ever in the world. And I think it's a recruitment tool that every damn department, they got somebody on there that don't want to be at work, breathing hard, and can't fucking talk.
You actually, a lot of it has to do with mentality because I travel a lot. Me and my wife, Chuck, I was in Lexington, Kentucky. I was in Dallas. I just left there. I was in Baton Rouge. So we travel a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I believe, like I said, it's 3 things that change people's lives. Okay. So you're always going to hear me say this here. 3 things. Only 3 is my man. The people you meet, the places you go, and the books you read. Yeah. That's why you always see me reading different books because I want to give different perspectives, right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure I highlight 2 points before we end. The first point is the only reason why we know about Tulsa, Oklahoma is because it was bombed.
Yeah.
Right.
The second thing is Black Wall Street was built by black men that protected their women and their families. So if anybody's going to build a Black Wall Street, we're going to have to be able to understand we're going to have to be men. It's going to take men to do it. We're going to have to really check our egos, come together, find out who has the momentum and jump on board. I always had this philosophy, and that what made me be able to win this here. This is exactly not all right. If you can't beat them, join them. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Chuck, man, when I first came to Mississippi in 1996, when I came to Mississippi in 1996, I wanted to coach AAU ball. I was already doing well in New York as a coach, running a 3-man weave. But I got down here, these guys were beating the hell out of me. These teams I went with the White Rock. Our team got beat 36 to about 12, And they like, brother, coach, you don't understand this other aspects of it, right? Then I went and started working with these guys called Impact Sports, right? Dennis Carter, Fred Williams. And I was like, man, I can't beat these guys for nothing. Then I decided, you know what? I can't beat them, but, I'm going to join them. And next thing you know, they gave me another team. Helped them raise a little money. They said, no, like, oh, is that Coach Campbell? Oh, Coach Campbell, hey, how you doing, Coach Campbell? Hey, it's because I realized strategy. I realized if you can't beat them, join them. Same thing with Mac. Mac does a lot with Mississippi Moves. He's a real excellent community organizer. I'm a community activist. I'm not an organizer. I'm an activist. It's different, right? Activists talk a lot. Organizers walk a lot. And once you remember that. So a lot of things that Mac has done, I get on the tail end to make sure that momentum goes. But lately, even before the pandemic, and that's why I have to do a better job of making sure that I stay connected to what's going on with Mississippi Move because we can collaborate on a lot of different things. We've done it over the years, but we got to get that momentum back up. And what keeps us in motion is me starting to get to the point where I said, I'm going to start recruiting. So that Brian Edwards, that's one of my products. I recruited him, brought him in because I have to be able to pass a baton to him to do things that I used to do. Yeah. And most of us not doing it successfully. Yeah. So how many Macs do we have in the pipeline? How many Chucks do we have in the pipeline? So that we can make sure that we have this leadership core to take over when we're able to do, when we get ready to go to the Bahamas on vacation and all these other places. Because I always see in 2 years, guys, we're going to be going on vacation, flying, doing different things because all of us going to be filthy rich. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to be that way. I can see it on Chuck's face. Mac, are you going to join the party? Yes or no?
Probably not. I'll be on a tractor somewhere.
So
if I got some free time, I'm going to be outside in the country.
We have to have resources in order to build.
I'm going to Jamaica.
And I want to make one other point before I go here. Look, check us out. This young lady. All right, hold on to your seats. Put your seatbelts on.
Come on.
Her name is LaRonda Coleman. She has a song called Jacktown Love. Jacktown Love is awesome. It's awesome. She's going to be performing at the rally on the 29th. Also, we have this young lady. He's a poet. Her name is Sierra Thornton. She's going to perform a spoken word called the Big 12. I'm going to leave it at that. Drop the mic, baby. The Big 12. It's a poem that she's going to perform. And then last but not least, we have Charles Gibbs. He's from the Delta. He's going to be performing a song called Blood. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to talk more about it on tomorrow, Respect Our Black Dollar Store show, WNPR 90.1. We'll be on at 8 p.m., and we're going to have two of these guests on the show to tell more about their impact of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Can you drop that in the comments, Chuck?
Yeah, I'm trying to get that right now. So let's throw this up on the screen to make sure that everybody knows that the Tulsa George Floyd Day of Remembrance is happening this weekend, May 29th, 2021, 2 to 4 p.m. Battlefield Park. But as Coach O was saying, they've got the Respect Our Black Dollar show tomorrow night. And give it to me one more time so I can put it in the comments.
It's going to be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We're gonna have some featured guests on that show. We're gonna have LaRonda Coleman. She's a rapper, and she has a song called Jacktown Love that was going to change the city. And Mac, y'all can use her with Mississippi Move too. I'll just make sure y'all go and y'all for rallies, and she be all right with that too. All right, and then we have Sierra. It's a Cier Thornton. The girl is deadly. Like I said again, drop the mic. She's awesome. She's going to be doing a spoken word called the Big 12. And also we're going to have Charles Gibbs. He's coming from the Delta. He's going to do a piece called The Blood. So I'm really excited about what we're doing and how we're able to change lives, because we have a collective working responsibility concept. We need to collaborate more. Even when we do the Jackson Black pages, I wanted to be a part of the organization for that. And I fumbled the ball on that myself, and be honest with you, because one of the organizers asked, he said, well, come on in so we can help organize. I didn't get back with them. So That's what we have to do. We have to stop making promises and commitments and don't do it. And then we got to be unapologetic about it as well. And so moving forth, this is what I'm going to do better. I'm actually start learning to delegate authority and getting other people to do things that I just don't have the resource capacity to do. So we need to make sure that Black Jackson Black pages we could do as well, because I do that a lot. And that's why the creators brought different people to me. I like that. Yeah.
Listen, that joker, he's always trying to recruit me to do something for him. I don't know. He talking about delegation. I don't know. Believe it. Again, told you not to step in it.
But let me tell you something though. Seriously, when I ask you to do something, Mac, within your resource capacity, you always do it. Because you're concerned about the movement and what's good for our people. So I must commend you on that. But at the same time, I do try to get him to do things he's uncomfortable with doing. However, majority of the time he don't do it, you know. But at the same time, he always performs. He's always there. Me and Mac went to school together, master's degree and all that kind of stuff. Mac was always
we did that internship together.
He was a smart guy in class. He was a smart guy.
He set a preacher up one day so bad. He was in trouble with him. He set him up for so bad.
From the law.
Oh man, I was like ignoring him. He was talking because he always trying to alley-oop me on something, right? So I was I said, just listen, he just talking. I said, he kept talking and kept talking, and he just kept talking. And I just asked him, I said, so how many books of the Bible was it? And then he answered, what did you say, 66?
He said 66, yeah.
I said, so what happens to the rest? He said, what you talking about?
No, he ain't been at nobody theology school. He ain't talked to Johnson. He ain't did none of that.
It like it don't need to have this conversation.
Hey, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all putting in. Shout out to the Jack.
Don't forget those last flyers where Mississippi Move we're gonna be at this weekend. We're gonna be out. We're always known for being out there where the party is, trying to spread good word. Also, we're gonna make sure we're gonna be out get out to vote. Make sure that you get out to vote. You will see us there. Make sure that we're going to be pushing the initiative June 8th, general elections. Make sure you get out. We also have the number 662-205-6683. We're still going to be doing some rides to the polls, and we'll make sure that you plan and coordinate yourself to go to the polls. If you need to vote prior to the election, you need to make sure that you check with your local circuit clerk's office to see that time frame, so you can go ahead and do absentee voting, so that you make sure that your ballot is count. Leadership matters. Elections have consequences. You need to go and cast your ballot. If it did not matter, you wouldn't have so many angry as junior wizards going on around now in the state of Mississippi and other places, because their leader did not win. So we need to make sure that we get out to vote, and understanding that voting is your power. Controlling your dollar and controlling your vote is a way to exercise your party. Old school party with a purpose. This has multiple meaning. This is an event that Stephen James put on to raise money for the homeless, donate to Stew Pot. Also, we have a presence there where we be getting out information to remind folks to get out to go vote, and encouraging folks. Now, if you know that you are taken care of, well, make sure that you ensure that somebody else go to vote. Send out a text message through your phone reminding people to go vote.
7.
Just do that. Yeah, start with 7, but
7 people.
Let someone else know and encourage them to go out to vote. If you have children, and this is what we got to start doing, everybody. We got to start making election days. We take off and we use vacation days for all type of shit. We stimulate economies around the world. Take off election day. Take your children with you, right? When there are celebrations going on in the community, take your children with you. Take that day off. We got to highlight us, and we got to highlight our local stuff that we have going on before we highlight other stuff that's nationally. So we got to start doing that. Take that day and make a day of it, day of service, because you're raising your caregiver. I want all parents to understand that. You're raising your caregiver. So if your children don't see you doing dedication to service and dedication to take care of others, what's going to make them think that they need to make sure that you are taken care of when you get older, or if something could happen to you now where you're young, God forbid. But we want to make sure that we are growing the next leadership, and we need to start with the folks that we are related to first. You need to make sure, the younger they are, the less their opinion matter. Take them with you. make them sit there and pay attention and learn. Children pick up a lot of stuff. Now, children be sitting there playing with toys and just doing this. Then about 4 or 5 days later, they say, "So, Daddy, what are they talking about?"
Hey, buddy, I know. Just
by having them in the room, they just need to be in the room. And they just say, "So, tell me more about why Black business is important." They just come out of the blue, and you be looking like, "Okay," So, but you got to have them there.
Yep. Having them, man. So look,
get older,
our announcements, Mac. We not only do we have Mississippi Move having a presence at these events that we've just highlighted.
Mississippi Greek Weekend.
We got Mississippi Greek Weekend, man, on the return of Mississippi Greek Weekend on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, May 29th and 30th. We've got Saturday event, Shoot Your Shot Saturday at a Black-owned business, the Press Box Daiquiri Lounge in downtown Gulfport. That's 27th Avenue, downtown Gulfport. You can search all of these places online, and also this has not been confirmed, but through my own research, this is the oldest Black-owned bar, nightclub, lounge on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I would venture to say, I would even push it towards Mobile and into Slidell, to say that Elaine's would potentially be one of the oldest, like longest standing. Yeah. And we're doing our business with our people on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And look, man, we got to walk the talk. We just can't talk it. We got to walk the talk. So that's what we're doing. And we're not doing business with shabby folks. Like, outstanding establishments can go toe to toe with anybody's business anywhere in this country. And when I tell you, you can go to Elaine's and you can get some good food. You can get a good time. You can have a socially distant experience out on the patio, in the courtyard. If you want to be inside and that's your thing, they got that option for you too. But we're doing what we said we supposed to do between these two businesses this weekend, Mississippi Greek weekend. We're spending our money where we know that it matters, and we know that it's at an establishment that's going to take care of us and do it in a professional manner. So we'll see y'all this weekend up in Jackson. We'll see y'all this weekend on the Mississippi Gulf Coast
and Pine Belt.
And the Pine Belt.
Yep, Spear be in Marion County, New Medina.
Yeah,
for the annual retreat.
That's right. So, look, man, we are all over the place, but we're moving Mississippi forward, all gas, no break, man. So, Coach, be easy over there, Brian Edwards. I see you, man. You're on mute, but look, we appreciate you being here with us.
Man, I appreciate the invite. I really do. I'm really thankful, and I'm here if y'all need anything. Okay.
Outstanding, brother. Outstanding. And
Black Love.
Look, Black Power, Black Love, but we haven't done this in a while, Mac. I definitely think that we got Coach O on here. We got to get.
Wait.
We got to get to where the money reside, baby. Shout out to that player, that brother that made this song up. This the remix. Shout out to all the folks over there. All of the new Black Wall Streets out there, man. We are doing it. Make sure you get ready to go. Put your money where your mouth is. The 6th annual Mississippi Black Business Expo, the People's Marketplace, Saturday, August 21st, 2021, Jackson, Mississippi, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Register your business on msblackpages.com. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. for Nightcap Knowledge. Put the children to bed, get your adult beverage, and get ready. Nightcap Knowledge is rated Black and Uncensored and hosted by longtime community organizer and entertainment professionals, Mr. Mac and DJ George Chuck. Real talk, real issues, real solutions. Nightcap Knowledge on Facebook, IG, and Twitter. Tune in and share.
Black with no chaser.